Hey BookTube, welcome to Jackie's Literary Corner. It is time for Tome Topple update. Tome Topple started on the 7th and it is currently the 8th. So it's been 2 days since Tome Topple started. This is my first Tome Topple update. So let's see. As far as Tome Topple goes, I decided to focus mostly on this one over Elantris because I had started this months ago and I needed to finish it so I can get on the 3rd book. As you can see, I'm pretty close to being done, but this is my last day off, or not my very last ever day off, but, until, I will be working 3-4 days in a row next week. So, this one picks up where the last one left off. Oh, although I feel like this series, which the series is called the Gentleman Bastard series by Scott Lynch, I feel like this is a series you can read the first book as a standalone and be okay and be satisfied with it, because it has an ending. They defeat their enemies. I wouldn't say bad guys, because I feel like our main characters are also bad guys. And that's one of the things that makes this interesting. It is from the perspective of a character that is not very moral. They're thieves. They're criminals. So in this one, you have Locke and Jean are going on this grand high seas adventure. But the first part of the book, they are at Tal Varar, and they intend to rob the Sinspire, which is essentially like a casino. And like the first book, they have this whole scam planned out. But then things fall apart as someone knows what they're up to and decides to hire them for his own scheme to make himself look good. And that involves them pretending to be pirates. And of course, everything that could go wrong goes wrong, and everything just falls apart for Jean and Locke. And they end up in this other kind of situation. I mean, I wouldn't say predicament, because the situation is not bad that they're in currently. It's an okay situation. It's not ideal, but it's not bad either. And now, this is such a fun, thrilling adventure series. And Locke, our main character, he's a lovable rogue, but at the same time, he's not always likable, because he's a selfish jerk. He sometimes can treat people horribly. He'll kill whoever gets in his way, even if they're completely innocent or didn't have anything to do with, or they're just someone that had no choice but to get involved. So yes, he's not, why would I say he's lovable, but to me he is, because he's so, again, my favorite word to use to describe him is unapologetic in his behavior. He is an ass, and he knows it, and he accepts it, he embraces it. But then when it comes to his friends like Jean has a way of making him feel bad and making him feel guilty, because if it's not going along with Jean's own moral compass. If Jean does not like what they're doing, is second guessing himself, he talks long and tries to talk them out of their situation. Locke, of course, is stubborn, but he does feel guilty because Jean has a way of making him feel guilty. And he doesn't want to lose Jean as a friend, because Jean is all he has left as of right now. Like the love of his life they mentioned in the first book and in this one is gone right now. We don't know what happened to her. We don't know their story. We just know that he loved her, and she's gone, and his teacher is gone. So Jean is like his only friend, his only companion at the moment, and the last thing he wants to do is lose his friend. But Locke is pride and can be very, very stubborn. And I love Jean because he's like the tough guy, but with a heart of gold. He's really sweet and caring, and he really is there. He's really there for Locke. Will do anything for him. Will walk through fire for the guy, but he also has his own moral code and compass. And he will tell Locke. He'll be like, "I'm not taking your crap anymore." And unfortunately, that can result in putting a rift between them. And he's also, in the beginning of the story, Locke is not in the best place right now. He's kind of feeling bad for himself. That's like in some of the and Jean is like, this is BS, and gets him out of this, gives him tough love. And that's what these guys do. Well, they will give each other tough love and pep talks, and they will be very supportive of each other and be there for each other. They're like brothers. And that's that's the heart of this story, is their relationship with each other. And Locke kind of reminds me of, I'm currently watching the show version. I haven't read the trilogy yet, but I'm watching the show version of The Magicians. And Locke kind of reminds me of Margot/Janet. Janet, I think, is her name in the book, and Margot is the fake name. But I think in the show they switched it around, and Margot is her real name and Janet's the fake name she uses. And Locke kind of reminds me of her, where sometimes both characters come off as they're assholes and they don't care, and they can be very insensitive, but they also very selfish, and will keep you at a distance, and can be be mean to you, and be an ass to you just so that you won't get close to them. But at the same time, they have a heart, and they do care about their loved ones, and can be hurt by people, not just hurt emotionally. They just try not to show it. They try to keep everything at arm's length. That is how Locke is. He keeps everybody at arm's length. I mean, there were moments where he shows emotion and shows the idea of that he does care. At least he cares about his friends, his loved ones. But it tends to kind of, it's a messy relationship. I like the pirate stuff. I think the pirate stuff is really cool and really fun. And I like pirate books, but I think it depends on factors. I like pirate stories, but I think it depends on all these other factors. Like sometimes, like Treasure Island, it was kind of boring, even though it was pirates, it was kind of boring. And with the Dara the Pirate King, and then it has a sequel, Dara the Siren Queen. The pirate, that story, like, the main character in that series kind of got on my nerves a little bit. But I like this one, and, it's, and this is only in one book, because the next book will obviously not be about that. This is their current adventure where they're pretending to be pirates, but they're not actual pirates. In fact, I don't think Locke really wants to be a pirate. I am also reading Flashback, which has taken a long time. And I said in my previous book wrap-up video, I said everything about my feelings on this book currently. I did get a little farther in this book last night, and I got excited because, but then we're on chapter 27, I think. I'm on chapter 27. It's still taking a long time, and once again, things are slowing down. And the characters are just so frustrating. Sophie's just so frustrating, like, especially when it comes to the romance drama between her, Fitz, and Keith. And again, I'm not a big fan of when two friends like the same girl. That whole plot point annoys me, irritates me, because then it's like neither one of them is gonna act, and they're just gonna wait on the girl, in this case, the girl, to act on her feelings. But Sophie is completely oblivious, and she's like, "Oh, they just see me as friends." That part drives me crazy. Everything else is good. I like the rest of the story. It's all that romance drama that annoys me. I almost don't want it to be there, so I can just take a breather and not worry about that. Not worry about, okay, is Keith going to be endgame or not? Because, I've said in the past that Keith is my endgame for me. But I'm just nervous that Fitz is going to be endgame, and I think that's a little too convenient, too easy. That, of course, the pretty boy, prince-like guy her first crush, the guy that she first meets that helps her adapt and stuff, conveniently he ends up being, but then I still remember that she has this strong connection with Keith. In the last sentence of the book, because I kind of cheated when I was checking to see how many chapters there were, made me wonder what's going to happen next. But, it's so obvious that, there's so many moments that make it obvious these boys like her, and it's really? How do you not see this? How do you not get this? How are you so oblivious to this? And then there's the whole drama with Alvar, and I'm very frustrated with Fitz right now, because he just keeps being taken out on his anger and his parents. And he can be so selfish sometimes. He doesn't see why that this is hard for his parents. All he's thinking about is they're housing this guy, so they're not thinking about me and my sister and how scary it is for us. They're only thinking about themselves, and it's no. That's not their intention. They are taking precautions and everything. And, it's being unfair, and I almost would love to laugh and for him to realize he's been wrong this whole time about his brother. His brother is lost. And he really has them. The Neverseen really weren't using them. I would be kind of see, I told you so. But there's a chance that I'm wrong, and he really is someone, it really is a setup. Because there's been so many times where they think they figured it out, but then the Neverseen always double-cross them and betray them. There's so many evidence to make them suspicious. Okay, so let me go ahead and go to this one. Not a lot is going on in this one. I did read a little bit more in War and Peace. And as I said on my previous video, it's easy to read. It's not that hard to read. It's just super long. But I'm glad that I already read the first part, or part, book 1 or part 1 or whatever, because all I had to do was jump into part 2 and then get to part 3, because the book is because this first month, February, is the month when we're supposed to be reading book 1, which is part 1 through 3, I believe. That means I got it done. I don't have it done, but so I don't really have anything to say. They're still at war and stuff. And then I decided to start another middle grade. Just get a fresh new story that's in middle grade, and that is Thornhill by Pam Samai. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right. S-M-Y. And this is there's two storylines. There's a present day storyline, and then there's a storyline takes place in the past, in 1982. And this girl, she's moved into a new house that is across from this institute for, I guess, orphans or young girls. And she's been watching, and of course it's decrepit and creepy looking, and she decides to check it out because it's just and meanwhile, when we go to the past in 1982, we learn about this girl named Mary, and there's this girl that is coming back. I can't remember her name, that's coming back to the institute, and Mary is very uncomfortable and very scared of this girl. Wants nothing to do with her, and whenever she's around, she avoids all the public domains in this institute, in this house. But then one of the women that's running things insists that Mary socialize and make things work with this girl, because this girl just keeps being sent back, and it's not fair, and she's probably very miserable and unhappy and stuff. But Mary is just afraid of this girl, and is like, I don't want anything to do with her, but of course she can't, it's like, what is she going to do? I mean, these people are not going to believe her if she tells them this girl is trouble and is dangerous. And, there was something else I was going to say. And I'm guessing this girl I'm guessing she's gonna come back to get revenge on the girl that bullied her. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a supernatural thing. I thought it was, like maybe this place was haunted or something. But it's just that she sees all that was said on the back that makes me think the supernatural element is a ghostly figure in the window. And it's a derelict, creepy house. What I like and what will make me go faster through this book is half this book is told with pictures. That's all the present day stuff. And then the stuff that takes place in the past in 1982 is told like a diary. So it's very interesting. So, and I'm wondering about this other girl. She's so creepy. Like, she's someone that seems, Mary talks about how people follow her and love her and adore her. I mean, she's so pretty and stuff. And, you know, like I said, Mary's reminded that this girl just keeps getting sent back and I don't understand why. And she doesn't either. So you should feel sorry for her. But then when she's there and the other girl's like, Mary, let's be friends. And I'm sorry what I did to you. Please forgive me. Let's be best friends. But then the cook is like, I wouldn't trust that girl as far as I could throw her. And the other thing is that I think that our Mary is like mute or has select mutism or some mutism. I don't know, because she doesn't talk. She talks about how she can't talk. So maybe she's mute or deaf. I don't know. But this will be, I feel like this could potentially be a fast read because of the way it's written. Like I said, that half the story is told in pictures and the other half is these little diary entries. So, and it looks, I love this cover too. And the title always kept catching my attention. And who knows, I might want to buy this one someday because so far I'm liking it. And I think it's really pretty. But, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see where this goes. So that's really where I am at. I have not started any of my other, like I've not read Carnival for the Dead, or, Count of Monte Cristo or anything. I might read Count of Monte Cristo next month, or read like at least Progress in Count of Monte Cristo, or Fall of Giants. I haven't read that one. In fact, I just put Fall of Giants back on the shelf just to put some of my books away. Although, you know, I've done book shopping recently, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with where I'm gonna put all these books. I have to make room, and well, it's hard for me to get rid of books because a lot of these I have not read. There's more books that I haven't read than there are books that I have read. But what I did decide to do to distinguish them is the books, instead of turning around all my books and then turning around the ones I've read, I've turned around the books that I haven't read yet. Although maybe I should do that because maybe that will put me more pressure on myself. I don't know. We will see. So that is how things are going with Tome Topple. I think I might, at least the Tome Mill grade, I have potential finishing Red Season, but within the 2 weeks, and possibly Red Season, Red Skies, but I don't know. It will depend. If I just kind of read a lot, but since the TV cut off itself anyway, because I did start watching a movie or a mini series, I should say. But if I paused it to film this, and if I have it on pause too long, then it will stop itself. And the TV will turn off. So actually I should use this opportunity because I decided not to go to the gym or run today, but I do need to go. When I'm done filming, I need to get a cup of coffee because I'm feeling tired again. And I still have Mom to make me feel guilty that I'm drinking coffee when I shouldn't be, especially since I'm not going to go exercise today and I'm just going to chill out the rest of the day. But, I mean, the problem is that once I go for my run or go to the gym, then I have to get home, take a shower, and it just wastes time, in my opinion, which I know exercise is not a waste of time per se, but sometimes I just want to skip it, which I know is not good. I mean, I've said in the past you shouldn't do that because then once you get out of a habit, but sometimes you just feel like skipping working out. And I did do some push ups. I want to get back into doing that because that could potentially strengthen my stomach muscles. Please get rid of some of because I do have a little bit of chubbiness. But I decided not to go to the gym. That should give me time to do some reading, which I really should. I should take advantage of that. But first, I want to upload this before it's too late. So I will talk to you guys later. If you guys are participating in Tome Topple, as always, I would love to hear about it. Tell me what tomes you're reading, or is there any that you think you could finish within the 2 weeks? Period. Or if you're just reading tomes, or if you read tomes regularly, or or you're presently reading a tome, would love to hear it. Feel free to share in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give a thumbs up. Click subscribe if you have not already. And click the bell notification below if you're interested in knowing when I upload new videos. I hope you're enjoying your reading, whether you're reading a tome or not. And I will talk to y'all later. Alright, bye!